just food in general started to just not sound good to me and not sound appealing. So like the less that I ate, food didn't sound very good. And so then if I didn't eat for 8 or 9 hours, I just like feel really nauseous and it makes me not want to eat. But that's when I do need to eat because my body's like, the frick, feed me. But then it would just keep going and I wouldn't eat because it was like, I don't like food, like that's not gonna help me, even though it would. And so then I was like telling a couple friends and they're like, all right, like let's figure out what you need to eat and stuff. And I like was like, yeah, I'm like doing it, but I really wasn't. Instead, I was tracking my calories. I saw that like at least for my height and age and weight, I should at least be eating like at least like 1,800 calories. And I was eating like 600 to 700 on a good day. And if I got over like 1,000 calories, if I ate like a burger that day, I just felt like freaking crap. It was just like, wow, like how did you just do that to yourself? Like this disgusting, that's gonna make you sick, like you're gonna have to work that off. And so I became really excessive with exercise too. And that's been like my whole life, that like it wasn't until like my junior year in high school that I started realizing like that my metabolism was not working the same as it does. And it's like pretty freaking slow. So I was just like, oh, I have to start doing things. So I started running in high school. And ever since then, like I only run like consistently when I want to lose weight and when I feel like I'm screwing up. And so this was like my routine. I'd wake up, I'd maybe eat a piece of toast, and then I'd go to school. But before I went to school, because I was always so tired and drained, I would take down 2 caffeine pills. I can't even remember the milligrams, but it was a lot. And I didn't register this until later, like what I was doing. So I was awake during school, I was like, yeah, whatever. I'd get home and it was finally kicking in. I had so much energy. And so I was like walking home and I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna go in, gonna change, I'm gonna run like 3 miles. And I would do that. And at first I was okay, but then it got to the point where like if I was like bored or whatever, or I just felt bad, I was like, I'm gonna run. And so I'd run till I was like freaking running myself into the ground. And I would feel like, oh my gosh, I'm on the side of the highway, like I might fall over right now, but I'm okay, just like keep running, don't think about it. And you shouldn't be exercising like you should and feel that way. Like you should feel like it's a strain and it's kind of hard and challenging, but it should feel good to your body. But it did not feel good to my body. My body was like, you are literally killing me. And that makes me so sad now that I did that. And so I would never think these things about other people. Never. Like that would not cross my mind like, oh, she needs to lose weight or whatever. But like you hear boys talk about it and they're like, that girl's kind of fat. You're like, her? Like that girl's so skinny and so pretty. And they're like, she's kind of weird looking. You're like, what the frick do you think about me then? And so like those little things from like media to what your friends say, especially what boys say, like that, like, or maybe like what your parents or whoever tells you when you're little, like stuck in your stomach or whatever, like those things like stay with you and they add up. Oh gosh. So I was getting to a point where I could not stomach food. Like everything that I ate just made me want to throw up because I was barely eating food. So how was it gonna go down if like my body couldn't even like take it? And I remember like there was a couple experiences where I finally realized like this is scary. Like this should not be happening. I went on a hike with a friend and it was a super windy day. Literally could not keep my balance. Like I had terrible balance for like 6 or 7 months probably because I wasn't eating enough. I wasn't drinking enough. I thought water was too much to be taking in. Water. And so I literally thought I was gonna fall off the effing mountain. And that scared me so much. I started to get sick every time that I ate. And I would try to get myself to eat food, but I immediately felt like I was gonna throw it up. So I was like, you know what? Maybe I just should. Maybe that'd make me feel better. So basically, anytime that I ate in private. Or if I ate with my friends, like I wouldn't eat anything. Or if I did, then I'd go to the bathroom and I'd throw it up. And I finally like told one of my friends about it and she was kind of like keeping an eye on me and watching, and we went out to eat once and she was like texting me under the table and was like, are you okay? I was like, no. I went to the bathroom and I was on the ground just crying. And there were so many times that I was like over the toilet on the bathroom floor crying, like so many times. And I was just like, this is not how life should be. This is a simple thing to eat a meal. Like, but I couldn't even do that. But I couldn't get myself to stop because it's like an addiction that it felt so good to relieve it. And so I got to the point where I was throwing up at least 3 times a day. And I had never been that person, never thought that I would be bulimic. But that was something that helped me, but then it also hurt me. It never helped me, it hurt me. And so when I was one time in class, it was like a 2-hour class, I had to get up like 2 or 3 times to go throw up in the bathroom because I couldn't even like sit there, and I hadn't even eaten anything. And so finally, like, I had the nicest teacher, and like once everybody left, I was just like, can I talk to you? And she's like, okay. I was like, can we go outside? She's like, okay. I don't know how to tell you this, but I think I'm having an eating problem. I was just like, I don't know what to say. And I just started bawling. And she started crying. I said, I don't know what to do. I'm so scared. And she took me immediately to the counseling office and like checked up on me every once in a while and just like wanted to know how I was doing. But I was like, I can't stay here. As much as I loved Hawaii and I felt so mentally happy, like physically, if you are running yourself to the ground, like mentally it'll start catching up. And so I knew I had to go home and get help. But I still, even when you're home, a part of you, like your eating disorder voice, doesn't want to change because you finally feel like you made it. You're like, oh my gosh, this is the only way that it works to be skinny. Because even if I'm eating right and I'm exercising, like I'm not perfectly flat, my legs have all this muscle on it and I don't like the way I look. And I thought, this is the only way, like, yeah, I want to give it up, but how, I don't want to be like gaining weight again and like feeling like self-conscious about it. So I didn't fully want it for myself, but I came home because I knew I wanted to record music and I wanted to start a company, and I was like so focused on that. And I was like, I'm going to go home and I'm going to get this done. And yeah, maybe I'll like recover on the side. And I didn't take it as seriously as I should have. But I started seeing a nutritionist and eating disorder specialist on my own a couple times a month. I wanted to care for myself, but I just didn't. I didn't have love for myself. And I would have thought that I did, but I really didn't. But at the beginning, I was doing it for the kids that I watched. I was like, I cannot watch them while I am like feeling like I'm gonna pass out, or while I don't have the energy or the capability to be happy with them. Because it was so hurtful but true that like people just every once in a while would tell me like, you're so different, like you seem so lifeless, you don't seem happy anymore, like you used to be a light and now you're just kind of dark. And I kind of felt like, what? Like that was my one thing I feel like I had to offer to the world, was like being a happy, kind person. And so I felt like I didn't even have that anymore because it was literally draining the life out of me. I can't even explain it. You just feel out of your own body. I couldn't even like tell what was up or down or what was reality. I just like felt like I was watching this girl just like go around and do a day-to-day life, but I just felt not even there. And so I finally realized like I need to do this for myself, because I'm the only one that can do it. And I felt like kind of alone while I've done this. I've had friends that have definitely supported me, but I've been home and going to these meetings and just feeling like, how am I gonna do this? But you do. Something that has helped me is just recognizing like gratitude for your body and what it can do. I watched this documentary series on Netflix. You should watch it. It's called The 9 Months That Made You. And it talks about just like, it goes through the whole cycle of like a mother's pregnancy and how for so many people on certain days or certain things went wrong. And like certain things didn't happen, or things did happen the wrong way, or like certain messages didn't get relayed in your body. And people ended up with like deformities or disabilities or whatever it may be. There's a lot of struggling people that either they didn't make it to this life, or they came out and they're dealing with so much more than I'm even dealing with. And I just thought about it. I was like, it's like a miracle, first of all, that I'm alive. It's a miracle that I made it here, that all of my body parts functioning. And I'm killing my body. I just got to the point where I kind of just pushed myself so hard to see like how far I could go and what my limits were. And I just had like sickening habits. I would like brush my teeth like so many times a day because I didn't want to have to eat something, and I didn't like the taste of food in my mouth. And my dentist was like, you're kind of like wearing at your enamel. And I was just like, my thinking was like so twisted. I would be like really proud of myself if I went out to eat and I got a salad. I was like, oh, I'm so strong. Look, I didn't get a gross thing. Like, I actually hate salads and this doesn't taste good, but I don't care because I did it and I felt strong about myself. But that is not self-love, and that's not what you were designed to be. A lot of this comes from coping mechanisms. So much of it isn't even just all body image. It comes down to what's happening, at least for me, it came down to what's happening with like my family and like family issues and separation and divorce and whatever. It came from anxiety and depression. It came from insecurities. So my doctors kind of like helped me realize that like this started when I was in elementary school, when I just started using food or not using food as a way to cope with whatever I'm dealing with. And so it's hard. Everybody goes through their things, and sometimes people have their release through drinking or drugs or partying, or I don't know. They find something that helps them feel a little bit numb to it so they don't have to think about how hard whatever they're going through is. And I get that. So everybody just has their own thing. And for me, I could control what I could eat. So that was one thing that wasn't screwed up in my life. At that point, I was like, all right, can't change my family, can't change my parents, can't change, I don't know, what my face looks like or anything like that, but I can be skinny and I can like make one right decision by like helping my body to be really thin, which is not a good decision. But it's real, but it's not impossible. There's a lot of hope, because I think the more that we open up to people, the more that people are sympathetic and empathetic to others. It makes people more aware of what they say around other people and not judging people based off of appearance. And so it finally has kicked in the last couple months, not meaning that things have gone away, because it's very up and down. There's things that still I really struggle with, and that some weeks are better than others, but there's times where it's still, I have no desire for food. I still struggle to like food and to feel okay about it and to even want to have it. I've had to just work on eating 3 meals a day, which I'm still struggling to do, just so I can like get my hunger cues to work again. and like my digestion to work again, because it's like not used to having normal amounts of food in it. And I feel so much better because I'm finally taking care of myself and loving myself, because I feel like I owe it to God for like creating my body the way it is and for allowing me to be healthy and like perfectly made. There's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong. Once I came to that realization, I was like, it doesn't matter what I look like. It doesn't matter that I'm not tall or not blonde or not whatever type of body shape, or that my voice sounds like a boy sometimes. I am alive. I have a body that works and loves and works for me every single day, even while I try to work so hard against it. It deserves love and appreciation because it's literally housing you and keeping you alive. If anything, I'm so grateful that this happened. I don't think I would have ever said that while I was going through like the worst of it. Because it's really hard. I'm still going through the worst of it sometimes. But I think I needed something so dramatic to show me what things I was running from in my life, to show me things I was trying to avoid, and to show me how I needed to love myself better. And I don't know how else I would have learned that, because I was oblivious to the fact that I wasn't even loving myself. And since then, it's made me such a stronger person. It's made me more loving to others, to myself, more grateful, more humble. It's made me more dependent on God. So that's kind of my story. I didn't expect it to be that long, but I kept feeling like I needed to make this. I couldn't do a behind the lyrics video on 21 without just sharing my story. So thank you if you watched this, and for supporting me, especially through this. As I've like become more public about it, people have been so loving and so helpful and so kind. So I hope that this maybe helps you if you're going through it, or helps you if you have someone else that you know that's going through it, that you love, that you aren't fully sure how to help, or if you don't understand their situation. But I'm really grateful you guys are listening to 21 and that it's helping you in some way to maybe not even make a change, but to feel understood a little better. So, yeah. Okay, thanks for listening. Bye.